Book of Heaven, Volume 34, December 8, 1936. How the Queen of Heaven, in her conception, was conceived in the merits, in the life, in the love and pains of the future Redeemer, to then be able to conceive the divine word within her, for him to come and save the creatures. My poor mind, immersing itself in the divine fiat, found in act the conception of the Immaculate Queen. It was all festive, and called all around itself, angels and saints, to show them the unheard-of prodigy, the graces, the love with which it called out of nothing this excelling creature, that all might know her and sing her praises as their queen and mother of all. But while I remained surprised and would have stayed there who knows for how long, if my sweet Jesus had not called me, he said to me,
I want to honor my celestial mother. I want to narrate the story of her immaculate conception. I alone can speak of it, because I am the author of so great a prodigy. Now, my daughter, the first act of this conception was a fiat of ours, pronounced with such solemnity and with such fullness of graces, as to enclose everything and everyone. Everything did. We centralize in this conception of the Virgin. Our fiat, in which there is no past or future, held the incarnation of the Word as present, and made her to be conceived and incarnated within the very incarnation of me, future Redeemer. My blood, which I was as though in act of shedding, watered her, embellished her, confirmed her, fortified her constantly in a divine manner. But this was not enough to my love. All of her acts, words, and steps were conceived in my acts, words, and steps first, and then received life. My humanity was the refuge, the hiding place, the embodiment of this celestial creature. So, if she loved us, her love was incarnated and conceived in my love, and oh, how she loved us. Her love enclosed everything and everyone. I can say that she loved us as a God knows how to love. She had our same follies of love toward us and for all creatures, such that by loving once, it loves always, without ever ceasing. Her prayer was conceived in my prayer, and therefore it had an immense value, such power over our Supreme Being. And who could deny her anything? Her pains, her sorrows, her martyrdoms, which were many, were conceived in my humanity first, and then she felt within her the life of pains and martyrdom so excruciating, all animated by divine strength. Therefore it can be said that she was conceived in me, from me came her life, and everything I did and suffered lined up around this holy creature. To court her and to pour myself constantly over her and be able to say to her, you are the life of my life. You are all beautiful. You are the first redeemed one. My divine fiat has molded you. It has blown its breath upon you and made you to be conceived in my works, in my very humanity. Now, my daughter, this conceiving of this celestial creature in the incarnate Word was done by us, with highest wisdom, with unreachable power, with inexhaustible love, and with the decorum that befits our divine works. I, Word of the Father, having to descend from heaven in order to incarnate myself in the womb of a virgin, the mere virginity, and our having made her exempt from original sin, was not sufficient to the sanctity of my divinity. Therefore, it was necessary for our love and our sanctity that this virgin be conceived in me first, with all those prerogatives, virtues and beauties which the life of the incarnate Word was to possess. And because of this I was then able to be conceived in she, who had been conceived in me, and in her I found my heaven, the sanctity of my life, my very blood which had generated her and watered her many times. I found my very will, which, communicating to her its divine fecundity, formed the life of her Son and Son of the Father. My divine fiat, in order to render her worthy to conceive me, kept her invested and under its continuous empire that possesses all acts as if they were one act alone, so as to give her everything. It called into action all of my foreseen merits, the whole of my life, and poured it constantly into her beautiful soul. This is why I alone can tell the true story of the Immaculate Conception and of the whole of her life, because I conceived her in me, and I am aware of everything. And if the Holy Church speaks of the Celestial Queen, they can only tell the first letters of the alphabet of her sanctity, greatness, and gifts with which she was enriched. If you knew the contentment I feel when I speak of my Celestial Mother, who knows how many questions you would ask me, to give me the joy of speaking of she whom I love so much, and who has so much loved me.
Fiat.